This is the Target Marketing and Positioning Project for MBA 516 for the company Majestic Light. Majestic Light is a new company created by the historic and extremely successful Majestic Guitars. Majestic Light wants to sell acoustic and electric guitars at a significantly lower price than Majestic Guitars. Majestic Guitars sells their guitars from a price point of $5,000 all the way up to $50,000 per guitar. However, Majestic Light will sell their guitars at a very competitive price of $700 at the low end up to $4,000. The best way to market Majestic Light is to employ segment marketing. There are two main segments we want to target. The first segment is what type of guitar owners are we trying to segment. First option, the young, new, aspiring musician. Second option, the seasoned musician, someone that has been playing guitar for a very long time. The third option, a guitar collector. He or she may or may not be a musician, but they collect historic and important guitars. The next segment that will be examined and marketed to would be those that are shopping by brand name or those that are shopping by price alone. The differentiation is relatively straightforward. There is a group that values the brand name of a product, and there is a group that values the price above all else. The first segment to talk about the potential guitar owners is younger, new, aspiring musicians. This group has had very little experience playing the guitar. They are younger, so they may be playing guitar as a requirement for middle or high school, or they're in college and they're trying to use the guitar to attract dates from the opposite sex, or they're post-college and haven't started a serious career yet, which lends itself to a little more free time. Also, gender is relatively unimportant in this segment. Ultimately, the goal is to target those that are younger and do not have a lot of experience playing the guitar or any musical instrument. Another possible segment to target would be seasoned musicians. Because Majestic Light comes from the great and historic guitars of Majestic, some seasoned musicians may be interested in purchasing Majestic Light guitars. This group is extremely experienced in playing the guitar, and they've been playing for many years. They are usually older, and some are professional musicians. The last possible segment to target would be collectors. They may or may not be musicians, but they are willing to spend a lot of time, money, energy to make sure they collect rare and unique guitars and other instruments. Because Majestic Guitars is a historic company, they may have some interest in owning a Majestic Light guitar. Based on those three choices and what type of guitar owners to target, we will look at those that we do not want to target first. Collectors is the first group that we do not necessarily want to target. Some collectors may choose to purchase a Majestic Light guitar. However, because the goal is to mass produce these guitars and be able to compete with other low-cost brands, many collectors will have no interest in purchasing a Majestic Light guitar for their collection. The other group that would not be ideal is seasoned musicians. First off, targeting seasoned and professional musicians would result in competing in the market already established by Majestic Guitars. Also, many seasoned musicians may not be interested in a cheaper product. They would have dedicated many years of their life to practicing the guitar, therefore they're going to want one of the highest quality guitars possible. There's also the hope that Majestic Light owners could potentially buy Majestic Guitars after they acquire a lot more skills and passion. The ideal market for potential guitar owners would be new aspiring musicians. Typically, if they're younger, they will have more time to learn an instrument. Also, the price point is going to be attractive to this group. If one has never played an instrument before, it's unlikely they'd be willing to spend the thousands of dollars required to get a guitar from Majestic Guitars, because they're just not that committed to the instrument yet. Therefore, a lower price point allows Majestic to break into a brand new market. Furthermore, the new aspiring musicians love playing the guitar. Eventually they could buy a guitar from Majestic Guitars, and that would generate a lot more revenue for the company. Majestic Light could help to create a brand loyalty with their lowest price point. Another potential segment is those that care about price or brand name. This can be broken up into two groups. Those that price is the most important data point in deciding whether or not to purchase a product, and those that would be more likely to care about the brand name of the product. Those that care about price more than the brand name are less likely to care about the history and legacy of Majestic guitars, and the most important thing to them when making a decision is the price point. Those that care about the brand more than the price are still going to be moderately price conscious, but price is not their only consideration when making a purchase. If given the opportunity to spend a little more money to get a brand name that they know and trust, they're going to spend that money. The best segment of these two options would be those that care about brand over price. Majestic has been used by some of the most famous musicians in the United States, and that is a powerful marketing tool. Also, Majestic Light will probably not be the cheapest option. Therefore, the segment that should be targeted would want to pay a little more for a trusted brand and not just be shopping for the lowest price guitar. The guitar and instrument industry is a mature market. There were $6 billion in instrument sales worldwide in 2016, and 1.07 of these sales were from guitars. During Majestic's peak, their annual sales were $600 million. Because of Majestic's history in the industry, Majestic Light should have a smooth transition into a competitive but difficult market. Therefore, the ideal profile would be a younger male or female under the age of 30 with a fair amount of disposable income, because Majestic Light will still probably not be the cheapest option. However, if the potential customer is a minor, their parents would need to be middle class to upper class. Ideally, we're looking for those that can pay more for a brand and those that have enough free time to learn a new instrument and those that value brand name above price. The position of this company will be a symbolic position. All of our target customers could pay a little less for a less-known brand, but they want to spend a little bit more to have a Majestic Light. Majestic Light is new and trendy, but also iconic. We're positioning ourselves as the guitar company for the future of the music industry. If one wants to get started in the music industry and eventually become a big name, they need a Majestic guitar to start their journey. Majestic Light is a up-and-coming company, and if they target the proper segments and position themselves properly, they can be a very successful company.